Everyone's waving, beginning of the season. But what this ride is really about is reviewing my tires that I bought this time last year. Some Michelin Road Pilot 5 on the rear, and because the Vstrom has a 19-inch front wheel, a Michelin Road Pilot 4 Trail on the front. What are they like? Do they improve on the stock Bridgestone Battle Wings, which I rate highly, by the way? Do they improve on those? Well, stick around, stay tuned, and I'll let you know after these messages. So in review, what I did is I replaced my Bridgestone Battle Wings a year ago, just prior to touring Oregon, 2 up, fully laden with my wife. The Bridgestones, while they still had tread on them and about 17,000 kilometers worth of wear, and was still another 2 seasons at least, and brilliant in the rain, they were noisy and they were getting squared off at the back. So given that, what I decided to do was to replace them, and I did a lot of research, came up with the Michelin Road Pilot 5 on the rear, and because they didn't yet have a Road Pilot 5 trail for the front, as the Road Pilot 5s were very new, I stuck on a Road Pilot 4 trail on the front. And I've been nothing but super happy with them. They have been fabulous tires. The first thing you notice, of course, even before the coat's taken off them and they're worn in, is that they're quiet, they're smooth. Any new tire is smooth, much smoother than the old one you've taken off. It's in balance, it's perfectly round, etc. But they're smooth and they are quiet. The tread pattern lends itself to a very, very quiet ride. It's super, super nice, you know. And then the next thing you notice is and it may be because the Battle Wings were squared off a little bit, but you notice the ability of the tire to corner. It's wonderful. It doesn't chuck the bike or drop the bike in the corner, but it allows you to really, really have a nice, easy roll in. It's a very flickable tire. And as is important, I've kept them inflated most of the time perfectly. And while I rode them through 40 plus Celsius in Oregon and Washington, fully laden, my wife on the back, both panniers laden, top box, etc., multi-hundreds of pounds on them, they did really, really well. They're classic high wear conditions that I used them in. Hot, heavy, lots of straight line running, and they are a dual compound, harder compound on the crown and softer compound on the sides. And for the most part, given that they've now done nearly 7,500 kilometers, they are still round. Now there is a little squaring on the rear, but who can complain at a little squaring? It's not enough to feel anything in the corners, to be resistant to the turn. This thing still feels as flickable as it did when I first put them on. But if you sight them very, very carefully, you can notice. And when I do a static review after this road review, when I do more of a static review for you, I will let you know what I saw. They've been wonderful tires. They are still in round. They've lasted well, and I fully expect them to go another 2 or 3 years. Believe it or not, I've got 7,500 kilometers on them, and that appears to be nothing. It doesn't seem like they're worn at all. They have tetrahedral tread patterns, meaning that as the tire wears, the volume of the tread does not decrease, because the width of the tread is wider the deeper into the tire you get, so it holds the volume of water, displaces the same volume of water as it would brand new, which I think is fantastic. It's a very cool design, and I'm wondering why no one else thought of it. The compound seems to be awesome, never an issue. It seems to warm up really, really nicely. Even on the coldest winter days, you can put your hand on the tire and it's warm. It's not rock cold. So I have no issues with it at all. But for a closer view, right now, as if by the art of magic, we are going to go straight to my garage and be looking at the tires right.
And here on the back of the Suzuki Vstrom, you can see the Michelin Road 5. As you can see, it's got an interesting tread pattern, specifically made for smoothness, as much tire surface on the tarmac as possible to give you the best handling possible, and also specifically made for rain. And if I cut to the other camera, you'll notice my finger going up and down here, and you can see that the sipes actually get larger the deeper they go. So all of these sipes, they sort of angled in, so as you wear they can displace the same amount of volume of water. Whilst they're not as deep as you wear into them, they get wider. I don't know if you can tell, but as I look this way, there's a slight squaring off around about here. This is a much harder compound than the compound on the sides. If you look carefully at the compound on the sides here, you can see actual graining taking place where it's very soft. You can see where it transitions. Very soft compound, very sticky, very sturdy. You never feel any sort of insecurity leaning this thing over. And in the middle, much harder silicon compound, and you can see on the transition between them, yeah, there's a very slight flattening off in the middle, but at this point I cannot notice a thing. As I said earlier with the handling, I'm fully expecting to go another 7,500 kilometers on this before I give it up. So very good value indeed on the back. What you can see here is the Michelin Road 4 trail. They didn't have a Road 5 trail when I bought the Michelin Road 5 for the rear of this bike, so I had to go with the 4 trail. Technically, this compound, of course, is not going to be quite as sticky as the Road 5 according to Michelin's own literature, but I haven't found any problem mixing these at all. These don't have the same sort of tread pattern, and they don't have the ability to get wider as they wear. However, that said, the wear rate on it seems to be very low. I can see no sign of any squaring off at all on that, at all. So I'm very impressed with the way this is worn. Never have they let me down once. Fully, always feel super secure. I feel like I'm on a sports bike with this thing, especially one up. I've never had levels of grip like this. As you can see, there's so much surface area on this. The treads are very cleverly staggered so that no matter what angle you're at, you've got a lot of tire on the road. So overall, am I happy with these tires? Yes, I am. I replaced the Bridgestone Battle Wings with these, and I've been more than happy. The grip levels are better in the dry than the Bridgestone Battle Wings. In the wet, I never push it, but I've never had any issue with these, and these get the highest accolades of any wet weather tire, so I would have to say they're probably better than the Bridgestone Battle Wings, although the Battle Wings were good and only started to fail as they got older and got 15, 16, 17,000 kilometers on them. I felt the compound was getting harder. These are much more expensive. Are they worth it? Yes, in my opinion they are. They are much quieter. You can see that you've got a lot more contact on the road. They're less aggressive than the Battle Wings. In rain and on the road, these are the perfect tire. Do not take these off-road. I have taken them off-road. Didn't think much of them. Didn't feel that secure. Definitely wouldn't go with these off-road.
What a gorgeous day today, Blue Marble Riders. Everybody's out, tons of motorbikes. It's just a gorgeous late March day. Must be 24, 23, and just got my bike insured yesterday. Luckily, because I nearly got hit by a Volkswagen, no Hyundai. So it's a beautiful day today. Really, really enjoyed it. I think I'll just back up so this lady doesn't clout me. Just goes to show when you're vlogging, you never can tell what's going to happen. But I'm going to be off for a lovely ride.
Once again, thanks for watching, everyone. If this is the first time you've watched, please consider subscribing. I do product reviews, motorcycle reviews, off-road and on-road vlogs, as well as tours. Don't forget to follow me on social media, that's Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and to like, and especially, I'm begging you here folks, subscribe. This is the Blue Marble Rider, out.